Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Rose Code podcast, where we gather to journey through the sacred cycles of life, turning pain into power and wounds into wisdom. I'm Katie, your spiritual guide and mentor, here to support you on your healing and wellness path. Together, we'll explore deep, transformative practices that awaken the divine feminine, helping you reclaim your power and thrive. Every month, we come together for our live moon ritual, celebrating the new and full moon with sacred ceremonies. Be sure to check the details below to join next month's ritual and immerse yourself in yoga, meditation, divine feminine activations, and our vibrant community calls. Let's dive in and transform together. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this full moon in Leo cacao ceremony and moon ritual. So each lunar cycle has a specific job and energy. And with full moons, they're the culmination, they're the finishing line of the lunar cycle. So we begin it on the new moon and we end it on the full moon. And each moon, from the new moon to the full moon, falls in a different sign. So my heart is very, very close to Leo. I love the Leo energy. 8-8, the Lion's Gate, is one of my favorite numerology days of the year. And I feel very connected to the heart of the lion. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm also a fire sign. So this energy feels very homely to me. And fire is a great alchemist, a transformer, because once something is burned, it is transformed and changed forever. And if you want to release something quickly, you burn it or you embody the fire element. So it is the fastest element to get the job done. For many of us, January has been challenging to say the least. But what challenges we face and we overcome only makes us stronger. And think of a lion. A lion roars. A lion isn't afraid of anything. A lion is the leader of the pack, the king of the jungle. And with this energy, it is inviting us to step into our brilliance, to step into our power, to step into our bold, creative, shiny self. And many of us have been conditioned to play small and to not be bold, to be nice and to be um, ladylike. And yes, there is a time and a place for that, but our inner wild needs to be nurtured. And what happens is when that becomes suppressed, we suppress our power, we suppress our individuality, we repress and suppress that wild aspect of ourselves that is needed in the world. Because imagine if everyone conformed. Imagine if everybody was like sheep and followed everybody else. The world would be so boring. And think of the people that you admire. Think of the people that you love to tune in on social media or YouTube. They have a quirkiness, they have a wildness. They're probably very controversial. And yes, I'm sure they are lovely, nice, kind people, but there's a fire to them. There's a passion, there's a uniqueness. And you also have that. And the more you step into that bold, brave, courageous energy, the more opportunities, people, and situations you're going to attract into your life that are fully in alignment with your soul, with your inner fire. So it's a very, very exciting time because this full moon, this energy, this illumination is really wiping the slate clean of the inner critic, of the shadows, of the things that you've been holding on and harboring for many, many, many years. So think of it as a pre-spring clean for all the world. And yes, that can be scary to erase what we've held on to for so long, but you need to create space for your inner wild, for your passion, for your creativity to come to the forefront. And if you've been feeling like life has been mundane, or you're bored, or you feel like you're living in Groundhog Day, this is the energy to get into. So, tomorrow, which is Wednesday, is the 12th, and that's when the full moon peaks. So you can work with the full moon energy 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. So you basically have this whole week to really tune into the energy. And it's very special because you have to allow yourself the space and time. So, this bold and brave energy is really igniting the inner child. So, think about a 4 or 5 year old that you know that gets up and sings and is a different superhero hero, or is embodying a different animal. This is the energy that is being asked to be embraced. And, you know, many of us hold that part back because it's like, oh, I can't show that part of myself in case I'm rejected or in case I'm judged. But the people who truly need you and love you and want to become this community and this tribe are the ones that want to connect with that wild side of you. And it's like a domino effect. Once one person lets go, the other one and the other one. And it gives everyone permission to be themselves. So I want you to just close down your eyelids for a moment and put your hands, one hand on the heart, one hand on the lower belly. And just take a moment to become still and quiet, taking a couple of deep breaths. And I want you to allow this question to speak to your heart and just notice what feelings, emotions, answers come forth. What would I do if I wasn't afraid? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? And don't worry if nothing comes up, it might come to you later. And the second question is, who would I be if there was no judgment? Who would I be if there was no judgment? Whenever you're ready, you can gently open up your eyelids. So perhaps there are questions that you would like to sit with later or journal a little bit more on it. But these questions, these shadow journaling prompts are really, really important because there's a reason why we shut down our inner wild. There's a reason why we stopped being creative. There's a reason why we stopped being ourselves. So why hold yourself back? Because there's this power, there's this energy, there's this force within you that is crying, yearning to be free. And we came here and we were born into this world worthy. And nothing has changed since that day, but society, life experiences, relationships, the inner critic, they all put a layer of suppression or a label on us that we're like, oh, I can't do that, or I should be like this, or I need to do that. It's like, but what do I want to be? What is my heart longing for me to step into, to embody, to become? And like I said, think of those people who you really, really admire. They don't hold back. They're not afraid of being judged. They're okay with people having a go at them or have an opinion because they are true to themselves. And when you are true to yourself, those things, those comments, those people, they just wash off. You're like Teflon, those things just fall away. And it's very, very liberating when you decide, I'm just going to be me. Because it's very easy to be you. It's very challenging and exhausting to be somebody else. So give yourself permission over these next couple of days to really honor what is coming forward, to do things a little bit differently, to listen to your heart and not your mind, and just notice what happens and notice how much more expansive and free you are. Because over the last couple of weeks, I've been really juggling with this head to heart connection. And every time I get into my heart, into my head, I'm like, okay, drop into my heart. And in an instant, it's quiet. In an instant, everything opens. And in an instant, those problems or those projections into the future are no longer relevant because I'm fully in the present moment. I'm fully in my heart. And when we lead from our heart space, we have 100 times more energy and power than when we lead from our mind. So I would really invite you this week to keep tuning into that head to heart connection and see what happens. So I have some cards here, and let's get some inspiration, some guidance for the next 2 weeks, the next 6 months, coming into spring, whatever it is that you are wanting guidance or support in. So just close down your eyelids. Bring whatever question or guidance you'd like to the forefront of your mind and your heart. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, send that energy into the cards. So like I said, this time is very powerful for transmutation, for alchemy, for raising your vibration, and for really setting yourself free. I see a lot of cord cutting, a lot of letting go, and just effortlessly flowing forward now into the new season, springtime, new beginnings. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So for many of us, like I said, January has been a huge initiation, a rite of passage, and really going through the dark night of the soul. So really meeting our shadows, meeting those parts of ourselves and our lives that are just not pleasant. But you can see here the light at the end of the tunnel, the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So we've never had an experience where we didn't come out stronger, wiser, freer. So it's looking back and seeing how far you've come and say, wow, I was so brave. Wow, I took those steps even though I didn't know where I was going. And now I see the light of the end of the tunnel. So it's really important to trust that the universe always has your back. And anything that seems dark, anything that seems terrifying, is actually initiation into a higher realm, into a wiser, more resilient aspect of you. So there's a load of treasure here, and diamonds, and a new path unfolding or opening up. So if you've been going through a tough January, a tough start of the year, a terrible 2024, this year has initiated you now into this higher realm or into this new aspect. So the next card is Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. So for the next couple of weeks, if you do this work, if you really drop into your heart, into your radiance, into your true essence, you will be having so much fun. You will be so free. You will be embodying your inner child, your inner goddess, your Kundalini energy. And it's from that aspect of you that is really going to light you up. And not because you've won the lottery or you bought a new car or a new wardrobe, because this life force energy is flowing through you. And everything is pleasurable, everything is exciting because your eyes have been attuned to this new higher frequency. But it is up to you to change the energy. So going from mental to heart energy. The next card is birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So you can see here, everything has fallen away, but she's laying a new foundation. She's connecting the higher realms to the earth because it's really important that, yes, we are spiritual beings, but we also have to be embodied in our body, in the heart center. And she's radiating from the inside out. So when you change your inner frequency, everything around you will start to shift. So again, if you have been going through a dark night of the soul, a dark year of the soul, that's all because you're like the caterpillar in the chrysalis transforming into the butterfly. And then finally, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So look at this new horizon. There is something big. There is something in your heart that your mind is trying to distract you from hearing. So this is why it's really important every day to sit with your cacao, with your tea, with yourself, and just listen and ask the question, what does my soul want me to know? So there's a lot of action and a lot of contemplation being asked, a lot of yin and a lot of yang balance, because many of us know that in order to get what we want, we have to take action. We have to step out of the known into the unknown. We have to sit with the question and then take an action on the answer. So it is a very, very powerful time. And I really, really am like shaking with the energy of please don't let this time pass. Because what you do over the next week or two is really going to set the stage for where you're going to be at the end of the year. Do you want to repeat what you did and what you achieved last year, or do you want to move up a step, or change the chapter, or write a new story? And what happens over these next 2 weeks, what happens from the calling of your heart and your soul will have a huge influence on that. Thank you for listening. If you're looking for more, don't forget to check out the Rose Code community in the description below.